Welcome to the I Triumph Real Estate Blueprint Podcast, where greatness awaits you. As you know, the last 2 years, I went through some major health challenges,
Hmm.
major health challenges. And because of the success that I had in my business leading up to that, we were able to maintain our lifestyle
Hmm.
through that sickness
Hmm.
without missing any payments, without falling behind on anything. But I was unable to earn at that particular point, and I wasn't of age where I could pull money away from the accounts that I had invested in without taking an even more severe tax hit on
Right.
withdrawing that money.
Right.
So, what do you believe people should do, or how should they plan the month when it comes down to those rainy days that you talked about, the
Okay.
health challenges and things of that nature? How much additional money on top of their lifestyle should they be putting to the side in the event that a healthcare crisis should come about once they get into retirement?
Okay. So I'm going to go real quick with this, right? Because I'm going to give you a whole. First of all, I think that the protection, the savings, and the growth, each one of those domains need its own separate philosophy,
Okay.
and the philosophy has to be grounded in facts, right?
Okay.
There's got to be some solid grounding in there. So let's just talk about how to, combat what you're saying. So I have identified 5 major life events that could occur in anyone's life at any given time that would make your income go to zero. 4 of them are negative, one of them is positive.
Okay.
Okay. You have been talking about one of them, which is an illness while you are earning. Now,
Yes.
fortunately for you, you already earned enough where you had saved enough and had some of your assets accessible to you to maintain your lifestyle. Everybody's not in that position right now, especially if they're just getting started. And so if you want to put yourself in position to not have a prolonged illness that will prevent you from going to work, right? Then, you may have some sick leave. If you don't have sick leave, then how are you going to replace your income?
Exactly.
So there's something out there called an individual disability insurance policy that a
Okay.
lot of carriers sell. I always have my business owners get them. I have it on the business, I have it on them because of what you just described. I had a similar situation 20 years ago when I blew out my patella tendon, you know, doing a Michael Vick impersonation, trying to be a running quarterback. And my knee said, no, sir, sit down and go play Xbox.
Right.
And I was in a cast up to my hip for 6 months and I could not get up to go to work. We were not doing virtual work back then because, like I said, it was 20, almost 21 years ago. So that wasn't even a thing. Okay, and so if it wasn't for the fact that at the time I had a financial advisor that worked with American Express, and he told me you need a disability insurance policy for you and for your business. That's what sustained me and my wife through that period, right? And so I tell my clients, you need to make sure that we have a way to replace your income if you become ill for a prolonged period of time or if you're sick. So that's the threat is illness and injury. The fix is to have a disability insurance policy. It's not going to be an asset. It's a pure cost. It's just like car insurance and homeowners insurance. But if you're willing to spend 1 to 2% of your yearly salary, right? You make 100 grand, you want to spend, 1,200 bucks a year to protect your 100 grand. I think it's well
Yeah.
worth it.
Yeah.
I think it's well
Yeah.
worth it. All right. Number two. So that's one is illness and injury. The next one is death, right? Now, death only stops people from making money because, who's paying a dead man or woman? Nobody.
Right.
It doesn't matter if you're single and you don't have any kids. If there's nobody in the universe depending on your money, then you pass away, we'll cry, we'll pour a little bit out for the homie, and we'll keep it moving. But if you're married or you have kids and somebody is dependent on your income, how do you replace the income that you were generating,
Right.
right? I see these young couples, some tragedy befalls one of the parents, and that income is gone. Let's just say a 50-year-old making 100 grand a year, and his or her plan was to retire at age 67. Well, that's 17 years of work. If they never get a pay raise or a cost of living increase or a promotion or anything, they stay right at 100 grand, they're going to generate $1.7 million of income between now and retirement. So how do you replace $1.7 million if you don't wake up tomorrow?
Right.
What's your family going to do? It's going to be a disaster. Not only are they missing dad or mom, they're also missing the money. So that's where life insurance comes into play, right? So that's two. The other thing is lawsuits. So let's use that same 50-year-old making 100 grand, right? We already know I call it as human life value is $1.7 million, right? If you get in an accident with that person, Carlton, and you hurt them, and then they decide or they say that they can't go back to work, what do you think their next step is going to be?
Right.
And if you don't know the answer, let me give it to you. Go watch daytime television, and what do you see? The Mike Slocum law firm, the DC Hammer, the Johnny Cochran law firm.
Exactly.
What's the dude that says I'm tough? All of them are saying if
Yeah.
you're in this situation, Lamont told you about on the podcast, call us. We'll get you
Right.
paid.
Right.
Well, here's what they don't say. Your car insurance, and all you guys and young ladies that are listening to me, check this out. Go to your car policy and your home policy and look for something called the declarations page.
Right.
And it's going to tell you exactly how much money the insurance company is contractually obligated to pay if you're in an accident and you hurt someone.
Yeah.
What I typically see in this area is about 30 to 50 grand per person,
Person.
or
Yeah.
maybe it's another 50 to 100, maybe 300 grand per accident. Now, 300
Yeah.
grand sounds like a lot of money, but it's not a lot of money when you buttress it up against $1.4 million or $1.7 million of income.
Right.
Because if they give them the 300 grand, the insurance companies wash their hands. Now you are going to be the victim of, the Mike Locum's law firm, and they're going to be trying to sue you for the remaining 1.4 million.
Right.
Now your income can be garnished, so it's under attack, which means you can't continue to fund your savings. You can't continue to put money into your retirement account. You may not even be able to live your lifestyle until that is done. So you go get an umbrella policy from whoever you already have car and homeowners insurance, right? So that's getting rid of lawsuit. That's getting rid of death. That's getting rid of injury and illness. The fourth thing is I lost my job, bad economy. Well, we already talked about that. How about you save 3 to 6 months of your monthly expenses? And so if that happens to you, at least you don't have to change your lifestyle while you're looking for a new gig. You may not get a gig at the level that you're earning today, but you're going to do something. You're going to do something, but you have an emergency savings. So that's what that's for. And then the fifth one is the good thing is retirement. Because when you retire, nobody's cutting you a check. Again, your assets are going to generate cash flow. But the only way you get to retirement is if you take care of those first four. Because
Right.
any one of them or a combination of them can shut you down and you'll never get to number five.
Yeah. And it can happen at any point in time.
Yeah, so that is what I would call a protection philosophy. Identifying those things, having an answer for it, whether you're a W-2 or whether you're an entrepreneur. It's even more crucial when you're an entrepreneur because you won't have sick leave or disability from a company like you do when you work for a company.
Yeah.
You
There
just
is
won't
no
have
such
it.
thing. Yeah. Yeah. There is no such thing.
So
Lamont.
when I say protect, save, and grow, if you do that first, then it's time to really start saving and really start investing because you know that your income is never going to go to zero. So you can now fulfill upon the, whatever we're trying to do, you can get it done.